Hey everyone, welcome back, and yeah, this video is going to take a little while because I have multiple playthroughs of this stage to do. I missed stuff the first time around. I would have just edited straight to the point of the things I missed, but I wanted to talk about kind of the information about Code Lyoko Evolution we've gotten since the last video I did. Their new website is up, which is nice, and there's a couple things right on the new website, actually. So, first off is the new logo. The new logo is honestly fantastic. I'll explain more specifically about why in a little bit, but it has to do with this idea with the live action and animation combination they're doing. They were considering the idea of trying to get it to look kind of closer to, I guess, animated style in live action, kind of a... I'm not exactly sure how I want to describe it, but I'll kind of get to that in a minute. But the other thing, though, on the main website is the casting call for the series. Yeah, they've actually put out a casting call to French children, or French teenagers, 14 up to about 16, maybe 17 or 18, depending on, I guess, height or how well you match the appearance of the characters. They want people that look around the age of 16, and 14 is the minimum age, so any of my viewers, if I have any that happen to be in France and didn't already know about this, that might be interested in trying out, go ahead. I mean, give it a shot. Why not, right? All the details are on their website. So, and here I hilariously missed the one that's in plain sight. Though I really like that jump I made, so I don't really know how I want to feel about that as a whole. Anyway, the last bit of news we received on the part of the new stuff for the show is, the series, if I read correctly, has returned to, it's on France 4 now. Basically, I suppose it would be the equivalent of network television in France. But yeah, basically the show's back on the air as kind of a standard. Basically, they're getting ready for their promotional thing to really kind of push the show, probably push the social network game thing they're supposed to be working on. It's supposed to be released, I believe, in March. But, yeah, so I wanted to spend some of the rest of the time here talking about kind of why I think they might have chosen live action, or why maybe they would choose live action over animation. But before I get to that, I wanted to talk about something that was released a little while ago. It was a year or more ago, I believe. There was a release of a PDF file on the Moonscoop website. If you watch the videos from Code Lyoko United, the guy who basically does all those videos, he has been on the Code Lyoko Veterans Forums for quite a while, and yeah, this PDF file ended up there, and he contacted DiLorenzo from Moonscoop, and there was neither confirmation nor denial of the authenticity of the PDF at the time, but all the theories so far seem to be that it basically is official. It's just a very early production idea. So, I have a link to the PDF below if you want to read it, but just a warning, a lot of the pictures in it really have nothing to do with any kind of final product. But a lot of the things they're describing for it, I really, really hope that when it comes down to it, they actually stick with a lot of the ideas that they have going for it. Okay, this run I actually succeed in getting some of the extras, because in that last one I got 0, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But, anyway, the the basics of the PDF are that, well, I'm sorry, it's a little early in the morning. I woke up not feeling great, but anyway, the thing about the PDF is it actually talks about what they were basically doing the story set around. It's a future version of the series. The characters are now older. Yumi moves giant rocks out of the way. Oh wait, no, that's happening here. Wow, I can't believe I failed that many times with that. And slowly descending rock. But anyway, the point is that the show was basically kind of promoted in this early document, and, well, not really promoted, but you know what I mean, as being really focused on the idea of blending the live action and animation. And the visual style was supposed to be based on that as well. At the same time, the basic story is pushed to the idea of the interpersonal character relationships and kind of a push for a focus to a point on the idea of social media as being kind of an important element of the series. And you could argue that might date the series if they actually push in that direction, but at the same time, it's more reasonable than the plot they have right now. It adds a lot more to the idea of the kids being part of kind of the whole world. And mind you, I didn't know you could actually do telekinesis to lift those random things, so that was new for me when I did it in the video here. The one thing I have to say about the story overall in the synopsis of this, this early incarnation of what the show was supposed to be, or the ideas they had for the show, is the idea of Xana being controlled by a governmental organization, by human beings. That's absolutely freaking brilliant. That is exactly where the show's concept of villains, heroes, and all that type of stuff needs to go. It needs to be about people in the next series, because they've already fought against an entirely autonomous, malevolent AI. But people are far more interesting as villains, I think. It really adds a lot more to the overall world. I know this is kind of a weird comparison, I suppose, but the introduction of the Harold Hill-esque showman conman ponies from one of the more recent episodes of the My Little Pony series is actually a great example of exactly how putting human jerk villains into a story adds a lot to it. And we already had Sissy, but now we actually have kind of that step past just the jerk or the con artist. We reach the point of someone who's actually, like, evil to the point of wanting absolute control. Or things of that nature. And that's where you actually reach the point of being a really, really interesting concept. So, that honestly looks good to me. And before I get to the last topic I want to talk about, I'm not expecting there to be that much more stuff on the Code Lyoko Evolution front for a little while. Maybe a little bit of a synopsis or character information or just some artwork or things of that nature. That's fine, but it's probably not going to be the big, it's not going to be a whole heck of a lot all at once. It's going to be, it might actually be not until even the summer that we have a proper trailer for the show, because that's when they're starting the filming for the live action component. As for the animation, they're probably working on the animation. They might be working on it already. They might be working on it in a little while. It's really hard to tell because of how they would do the voice acting for it. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, why would they choose live action over animation? Really, the primary reason I brought up that PDF file, the early reloaded thing, the early idea for what Evolution would become, is because it actually gives a very good hint as to why they would choose live action over anything else. it's really a matter of image. I believe that they're trying to push for the idea of a more mature storyline. And I think that the company might mistakenly believe that it is absolutely necessary to have live action to get that level of maturity that they want. Yeah, this is the last run. I finally pick up the one that I completely missed the entire time. I don't know how I missed it. It was the only one in plain sight. By the way, these were recorded a while ago, so yeah. But kind of the idea is, I don't think it was an issue of budget or production, because animation's biggest budget issue for this series would have been the CG, more than likely, or possibly the backgrounds. And you couldn't really have the show the way it was previously without the backgrounds. Some of the animation they actually did by combining the background components together, like the elevator descent scene is one of my favorite stock footages in Western animation out of the original series, because of how it's actually done is something that, like, I know how they would do that in traditional animation, and it's really, really cool. But considering they do a surprising amount on computers, they would emulate the physical process with the computer now. But the physical process is very interesting, the idea of using multiple cells, kind of tricking distance with the camera that they were using to shoot the footage. It's pretty cool, the basic concept of how it would work. But, I think really it is level of maturity, because I do need to look this up. Anyone in the comments, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the animation for Code Lyoko is all produced in-country, which is different from America, for the most part. U.S. animation, with the exception primarily of Disney and a few Flash animation productions. And I'm not talking about stuff like made in Canada here. I'm talking, like, Family Guy, for example, is all made in Korea. The animation is done in Korea. Shows of that nature, South Park is done here, but it's a very simplistic style. It's fairly cheap in concept. So basically, I don't think the issue of time, like taking an unnecessary amount of time to send off the animation if it happens to be bad, is really an issue here. I think it's almost entirely related to their idea that live action is, by its very nature, forced to be more mature because you're working with actual people who grow and change and all that type of stuff. So, I'm still against the live action concept, but it could work. I just don't really think that this company is going to do a very good job. And apparently there are reasons for me to believe that, because they have apparently done a live-action show before that wasn't all that impressive. So, we'll see what happens. But for now, just about to finish this up, so your thoughts on the series, your comments, questions, ideas, whatever. The next time I do another one of these videos, it'll be the Mountain Sector and maybe Sector 5. Depends. I have to look back through the footage. But, yeah. Thanks for watching, and everyone have a good time. We're done with the forest.